SDN Tech Forum. Now, so we have created our free tier account. Let's see the default constructs, what we get. So you can have cost and uses information, and that's the one thing we are going to do. We are going to make sure that we limit our cost to some limited amount so that we don't break the bank. And here is the tab, build the solutions, some popular tabs here. So it is kind of like a wizard or solution based tabs which you can click and get on started on something very quickly. Then you have some latest announcement about AWS and news, etc. So let's go ahead and create our billing rule first, so that we are safe. Since we are in free tier, we can still end up using certain services for which we are being charged. So it's better to create a safeguard against that. Now I am here in billing. Under billing, you can see that there is no data as of today because we just recently created our free tier account. Summary, there is no invoices for the select month, which is good. We can drill down into cost and uses, and we will talk about cost explorer and detailed costing in separate video. Let's go ahead and create a budget. So we are going to create a cost budget. There are different budget types you can create. We'll create a cost budget, monitor your cost against specified dollar amount because that's the simplest one. Right now it says that it is not enabled. We are going to go ahead and enable it. And how to set up? Step 1, step 2, step 3 clearly mentioned here. Very intuitive. Nothing technical as such. Set a budget amount. I want to set a budget monthly budget amount with budget renewal type recurring budget. That means you specify a budget for each month, and budget method is fixed, and say I'm going to put $10. So every time I exceed this $10 amount, I'm going to get notified by whatever method I choose to notify, and it include pretty much everything. Okay, that's it. All you have to do, you have to specify your budget amount choosing fix budget category. Obviously you can name this budget. So I'm going to name something, say max spending. Though you are in free tier account, you should not incur any cost, but it is best practice to create a budget alarm. All right, so we named it. This is for $10. And now let's go ahead and create budget alert. First, let's create a threshold. So our budget was $10 and I created a threshold of 50%. That means $5. Actual, it can alert you based on forecast also, but I'm going to send actual. And then you can specify where you want to get or receive this alert. So I'm putting my email address sdntechforum@gmail.com. Every time my actual uses for this account goes $5, exceeded $5 per month, I'm going to get a notification. You can use SNS also. As you can see, mobile push notification, 0.5 or half a dollar for 1 million of notification. Pretty cheap, very inexpensive, but I'm good with email notification. So let's stick to that. We created our alarm alert, and we defined the destination or how we want to get alerted as an email. So this is the summary of our budget alarm, and click on create budget. As you can see, now my budgets, I have one here, so I have one budgets created, and that will help us by falling into trap of unnecessary spending accidentally. And that's why it's always a best practice to create a budget as soon as you get started with your AWS account. Now we are going to look at some default constraints or default constructs which comes with free tier. So you can see VPC, that's our first constraint, and then under VPC these are the subnet tied to that VPC 172.31. As you can see, they are all private IP subnets with /20. This is my route table. And don't worry if you are not getting all this context as of now, because we are just getting started. I just want to show you, even if you don't configure anything, there are few things which you get by default, and it will help you get started pretty quickly. But in our crash course, we are going to uh, create our own personalized constructs and build solution on top of that. So as you can see, under virtual network, we have VPC, subnet, route table, and route table is already associated internet gateway. That's how we are reaching uh, this EC2 or this VPC. So there is an internet gateway attached. This is network ACL, uh, which guards traffic between subnet, and as you can see, the default rule is allow. So it allow all IP addresses from any source to any destination. So this is my inbound rule, outbound rule, and all the subnet is associated. Security group is tied to one particular instance or NIC ID of EC2. And as you can see, this is my default security group. I have an inbound rule which allow everything. So inbound, everything is allowed. From any source, any destination, all traffic type is all allowed. For outbound, you can see we have all traffic, all protocol, and everything is allowed. Now what you can do, you can go ahead and create outbound rules. Maybe you can allow HTTP traffic or you can allow SSH traffic, but we will not make any changes. We'll, as of now, just want to show you what comes as default. This is our security group. It allows all traffics, all port range coming from that security group itself. So we touch base upon VPC, subnet, route table, network access list, and security groups. Network analyzer, we'll deal with that later on. Some firewall, if you want to create firewall, you can follow these steps and introduce a firewall in your network, cloud computing network. Customer gateway, we'll talk about that later on. Site to site VPN, if you want to securely connect to your VPC, you can use VPN. And then we have a transit gateway, which we will use to connect multiple VPCs together. Now, if you go to Region Explorer, you can see AWS today has 17 regions. They have 55 subnet in that region. Right now, I don't have any instances running, but you can see I have 17 security groups, 17 VPC uh, in those 17 regions. And these are the list of regions. So what does that mean? That means that when you create your account, you get the default constructs of VPC, security group, network ACL, route table, everything in each and every VPC per region. So that uh, wherever you want to deploy your resources, you can just start with that VPC, that region of VPC. Like right now I'm in Paris VPC, and I can go ahead and create a new EC2 instance. I can spin up servers, load balancers, etc. within that region. Now if I want to go to a different region, I just have to switch the region, and there also I'll have my VPC and other default constructs available, so that I can create my infrastructure over there as well. And all this region, they have the pricing uh, power, different pricing power, and we will talk about uh, pricing more when we look at AWS calculator in cost budgets. All right, so these are the default constraints. If you didn't get all the uh, topic immediately, don't worry about that. Once we start building our network, we will talk about each and everything in detail, and hence you will be able to connect back to this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in next video.